You've got a goal. Maybe you've had it for months, maybe years. You can picture it clearly. You know it matters to you, but every time you try to start, something stops you. And if you're being honest with yourself, you know what that something is. It's not the right time. You're not ready. You don't have enough experience. You need to learn more first. You need to be more confident. Here's what nobody tells you is confidence isn't the thing that gets you started. Confidence is the thing that you earn and that comes after you start, and that changes everything. So today, we're going to break down the actual difference between confidence and courage, because most people think that they're waiting for confidence when what they actually need is courage. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use one to build the other, starting right now. Let's start with the big lie. At some point, through social media, through the way we talk about successful people, through movies or highlight reels, we got this idea that the people who go after big things feel confident before they go after them. Like they wake up one day, look in the mirror, and just know they've got it. They feel ready, and that feeling gives them the fuel to go. That's a myth. Here's what confidence actually is. At its core, confidence is a belief about past performance. It's your brain looking back at things you've done before and saying, hey, we survived that. We did okay. We can probably handle this. Think about the things that you feel confident doing right now. Driving a car, cooking a meal you've made 100 times, having a conversation with a close friend. You're not anxious about those things anymore because you've done them. You have the track record. But here's the problem. You can't have a track record for something you've never done. If you want to start a business, launch a channel, get in shape, change careers, ask someone out, write a book, whatever it is, you have zero evidence that you can do it because you haven't done it yet. So your brain, which is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, looks at the situation and says, no track record, danger, stay back. That feeling you're interpreting as, I'm not confident enough yet, that's not a flaw, that's just your nervous system being completely rational. The problem is, if you're waiting for confidence before you act, you've got the order completely backwards. Confidence doesn't create action. Action creates confidence. And the thing that creates action, the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, is something else entirely. Okay, so confidence is a belief about the past. Then what are we talking about? What we're talking about is courage. So what is courage? Courage is choosing to act in the presence of fear, not the absence of fear, in the presence of it. Fear is still there, the uncertainty is still there, the doubt is still there, and you move anyway. People talk about courage like it's a personality trait, like some people are just born brave, but that's not what it is. Courage is a decision. It's a moment-by-moment choice to take the next step, even when you can't see where you're going to land. And here's what makes courage different from recklessness, because those aren't the same thing at all. Recklessness ignores the risk. Courage acknowledges the risk and moves forward anyway because the cost of staying still and doing nothing is a lot higher than the cost of trying. Here's the way I like to think about it. Imagine two people standing at the edge of a swimming pool. Neither of them has ever jumped in before. Person A says, I'll jump in when I feel confident enough. So they stand at the edge and they watch everyone else swim. They're reading about swimming, they're thinking about jumping, and they wait and wait and wait. But person B says, I'm terrified and I'm jumping in anyway. They're scared, their heart is pounding, their hands are shaking, but they jump. And when they come up for air, something shifts because now they know. They did it, and the fear they had before is smaller now. That's the cycle. Courage, action, experience, confidence. Confidence is not the starting point, it's the destination. And the only road that gets you there runs straight through courage. So the real question isn't, how do I get more confident? The real question is, how do I get better at being courageous? Before we get into the how, I want to talk about something that no one really addresses, because if you skip this part, the rest of it is not going to stick. Most people think they're stuck because of fear. And yes, fear is part of it, but fear isn't the whole story. The real reason we get stuck is something that runs underneath the fear. It's the belief that if we try and fail, it means something terrible about who we are. Let me say that again. We're not afraid of failure itself. We're afraid of what failure means. If I start a business that doesn't work, it means I'm not smart enough. If I post a video and no one watches it, it means I'm not interesting. If I shoot my shot and get rejected, it means I'm not good enough. If I try to get in shape and quit, it means I'm weak. We've attached our identity to outcomes we haven't even attempted yet, and that attachment is what makes the starting line feel like a cliff. So here's the reframe I want you to sit with. Trying is not proof of who you are. Not trying is. A failed attempt tells you one thing: what didn't work this time. It adds data, it adds experience, and it actually builds the foundation for confidence because now you have something real to work with and to look back on. But never trying tells your brain that you're the kind of person who doesn't do things like that. And over time, the story is going to get louder and louder, and that's how years go by and the goal is still sitting on some shelf in your brain just waiting. So the first step in using courage to build confidence isn't a tactic, it's a mindset shift. You have to separate your worth from your results. You are not your outcomes. You are a person who, regardless of the outcomes, keeps showing up. Okay, let's get practical. I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but how do I actually do it? How do I make myself take action when everything in me is saying to wait? So I want to give you this framework called the courage ladder. The idea is simple. Courage, like any muscle, needs to be trained at the right resistance level. If you try to lift too much weight on day one, you don't build muscle, you get hurt. But if you never increase the weight, then you don't get stronger either. The same is true for courage. So step one is define the goal clearly. This should be a very specific goal. Like, I want to get in shape is too broad. That's not a goal. But I want to run a 5K by October is a goal. The clearer the goal, the clearer the first step. And that first step is what matters most right now, not the finish line. Step two, map the fear. So ask yourself, what is the specific thing I'm afraid of? Get it out of your head and onto paper. Fear lives in the abstract. When you write it down and look at it, it almost always shrinks. Most of the time, you'll find that fear is either fear of judgment, fear of failure, or fear of the unknown. So name it. Step three is find the smallest act of courage available to you right now. That means any possible version of forward movement. You want to start a channel? Okay, well, don't record a full video. Just write down 3 topic ideas. You want to start a business? Don't quit your job. Send 1 email to someone who's done it and ask 1 question. You want to get in shape? Don't just sign up for a marathon. Put your running shoes by the door tonight so tomorrow morning you can get up and go for a run and it's easier. This is not about thinking small. This is about breaking a cycle of inaction. Motion creates momentum, and momentum is what makes the next act of courage easier. Step 4, do it before you're ready. There's never going to be a perfect moment, and there's never going to be just one day you wake up and feel completely ready. The ready feeling is a lie your brain tells you to keep you safe. So just take the smallest act of courage that you can today. Step 5 is document what happened. Write it down. What did you do? How did you feel before? How did you feel after? Most of the time, you'll notice that the anticipation was worse than the act itself. And this is data for you to go off of afterwards. This is your brain starting to build new evidence. And this is the beginning of confidence. So go through the cycle, repeat the cycle, and raise the bar slightly each time. So how does courage compound into confidence? This is where things get really interesting. When you take one small act, no matter how small, and follow it with another, and then another, and then another, something starts to happen. Your brain begins to rewrite its story about who you are. Think about it this way. Every action you take is a vote for a certain kind of person. When you take that scary first step, you're casting a vote that says, I'm someone who takes steps. I'm someone who takes action. When you do it again, that's another vote. When you do it even when it's hard, that's an even bigger vote. Over time, these votes accumulate, and at some point, you won't be able to pinpoint exactly when. You'll just notice you feel different. Not fearless, not perfect, but you're capable now. You're a little more confident. You'll look back at where you started and realize you have a track record. That's confidence. You earned it, and you built it one small act at a time. And here's the compound effect. The more confident you become in one area of your life, the more that bleeds over into others. People who build the habit of courage in one domain, whether it's fitness, creative work, business, social situations, whatever, almost always find it easier to be courageous in other areas too. Because what you've really built isn't just confidence about the specific thing, you've built trust in yourself. You've proved to yourself that you can handle discomfort, uncertainty, and the possibility of failure, and you can come out on the other side of that. That is worth more than any result you'll ever achieve because it's the thing that makes all future results possible. Now, I want to be honest with you about something before we wrap up because I'd be doing you a complete disservice if I made this sound easier than it is. There is one thing that will stop this entire process cold, and it's not fear. You can work through fear. It's not failure. Failure is actually part of the process. The one thing that will kill this is comparison. The moment you start measuring your first act of courage against someone else's 5th year of results, the whole framework collapses because you'll look at someone who's been building for years, who has evidence, track record, polish, and momentum, and you'll compare it to your raw, messy, brand new beginning. And your brain will say, see, they're just better at this. This isn't for you. That voice is lying. Every person who looks confident in what they do went through the exact same uncertain, uncomfortable, demanding beginning that you're about to go through. You just didn't see that part. You're not behind, you're not late, you're at the beginning of your timeline, not the middle of someone else's. The only comparison that matters is, am I further along than I was yesterday? Keep asking that question. Keep taking steps, and keep your eyes on your own lane. So before I wrap up, I want to leave you with something. Right now, somewhere in the back of your mind, there's a goal. There's something you've been thinking about starting, changing, building. Maybe it's big. Maybe it feels impossible. Maybe you've already told yourself 100 reasons why it's not the right time. I want you to do one thing before this video is over. Identify the smallest possible act of courage that moves you 1 inch in the direction of that goal. It could be an email, a Google search, a conversation, writing it down, putting your shoes by the door. That's it. Don't wait until you're confident. Don't wait until you're ready. And don't wait until you have a plan. Be courageous first. Confidence will follow. Because the truth is, there are people who have the life, the career, the relationships, the body, the business that you want. They weren't born more confident than you. They were just willing to be more uncomfortable than you. That changes today. You don't need confidence to start. You need courage. And courage is a choice you can make right now.